You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It's your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging out with you guys. I'm in studio, but we actually have a great guest on the line for you guys, and that is Aiden Sabo with A's Lawn and Landscaping. Aiden, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Brian? Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely, dude. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. You are a young gun out there. You're a butt kicker. You are, how old are you again? 15, 16?
I'm 15 years old. Yeah, 15.
15, man. So this is going to be really cool. Some of you guys, you're a little bit older than 15, let's be honest. And you're going to go, why we listen to a young kid, man? Why we listen to the, a 15-year-old on the podcast? Like, don't you have to be at least be like 16 to get on the show? No. So here's the bottom line. Aiden and I, we're pretty good buds behind the scenes. Aiden has actually helped me edit YouTube videos. He's helped me grow my second YouTube channel on Fullerton Party of Two. Aiden alone has grown a pretty successful lawn and landscape business where he lives in Baltimore, and he's just a really, really good kid. He's got a lot of great things going on. And so, Aiden, why don't we get these guys up to speed, man? Why don't you give them a minute or two, like snapshot about who you are, your life, where you're at, what your business looks like, and just take it away, brother.
Sure. So my name's Aiden with A's Lawn and Landscaping. I run a lawn and landscape business here in Baltimore, Maryland. I mainly focus on the landscaping side, mainly because where I live with my mom, it's basically HOA managed. And then where I live with my dad, it's much more wide open. But with a split schedule like that, it is hard to figure out weekly mowing. So I mainly stick to landscaping, turf management, property maintenance year round. And that's where I sit now. I've got about 20 fertilizer clients that get treated, mulch jobs in the spring, and then a lot of landscape installs that we focus on throughout the summer. I got a couple buddies to help me out on the weekends, and an older buddy that helps us out with a truck and trailer and can drive. And that's how we do that. And pretty much just been rocking and rolling since May 28th of 2018. This is my third season doing this. I'm actually have some experience when I was younger, just helping my dad out in the yard. Did that when I was younger, and then just kind of like the business aspect. When we had a huge snowstorm in 2015, I went out there when I was 10 years old, made $350 shoveling snow. And I just kind of like the aspect of, working for yourself and making some money. So that's why I decided to start A's Lawn and Landscaping.
Dude, that is awesome, bro. Like when I get some of you young gun, like butt kickers on, man, I don't care if you're 14, 17, 22, like some of you guys are just like hosses and you can just carry it. I'm just like, hey, Aiden listens to the show. He's like, man, I can't wait to get on. And I actually asked Aiden about maybe like 6 weeks ago. I said, hey dude, you're on deck. When I get some downtime, I got a whole list of guests I'm getting through. But I said, get ready, because I'm going to put you on the show. And he goes, for real? I go, yeah, dude, like you're kicking butt. And you got a lot of great things going on. And in fact, like you just said, doing a lot with landscaping, which is really, really cool. So
yeah, absolutely.
There's so much stuff here that we're going to unpack. I think you guys are actually going to be pleasantly surprised. You're in for a treat. This kid is a young man, and he's actually kicking butt. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into Aiden's story here in just a quick second. We're going to, as you guys know, hear from the show sponsors, which allows us to keep the lights on, keep things moving, keep the show coming to you guys 3 days a week. So let's do this really quick. We're going to kick it over to Mr. Producer, and then we're going to come right on back.
Aiden's definitely a pretty cool young gun. In fact, he was one of the very first people to reach out to me after I joined Instagram at MR Producer USA. And if memory serves correctly, I even recorded a few lines for him to help surprise some friends of his. Aiden, I hope that came off as planned. Well, make sure that you are following Brian's Lawn Maintenance on the socials. In fact, I just finished watching some videos of he and his wife, Liz, hanging out with the almonds in beautiful Michigan. Man, those leaves were just phenomenal. Brian, question for you. Did Liz eat all of that club sandwich at one sitting? My goodness, what did that cost? And then my second question, how do we get Caleb in the voiceover business? Man, he's got some pipes on him. I'd actually be worried for my job, but I'm sure once he takes a look at Marty's bank account, he'll be right back to hardscaping. And we'll be right back in just a moment. Stick with us.
Are you ready for GIE Plus Expo? What? Yes, GIE Plus Expo is coming to you now. now. It's GIEExpo2go.com, your new online connection to hundreds of new products, industry resources, and solutions to help you grow your business. GIE Expo to Go is packed with your favorite exhibitors' latest innovations, demo videos, event links, and more. Plus, you can set up your own My2Go show planner to gain exclusive access to show specials and discounts. Test yet? It's all free. So what are you waiting for? Go to GIEExpo2go.com and start exploring today.
Mr. Producer here, and I love quality audio. That's why I recommend IsoTunes. Save 10% on your next purchase with Brian's 10 at checkout. That's isotunes.com. And once again, here's Brian Fullerton.
Awesome. Well, cool deal. We'll always appreciate Marty jumping in here and chiming in as he brings you guys all the great current up-to-date information, the lay of the land, the housekeeping. Couldn't do it without Mr. Producer. And by the way, we were trending top 50 podcasts. Ever since Mr. Producer came on board, we've been in the top 40. So I got to give it to our friend Marty, Mr. Producer, who also takes care of the Green Industry podcast with my friend Paul. So Aiden, let's go back to you, brother. You are, again, you're 26 years old. No, I'm just kidding. you're 15 and you're kicking butt. So it's funny when Aiden, you got to level with me here. When we interview these guests, I'm always like, hey, so how did you get started? And usually the 30-year-old guy, the 30-year-old old fart like me, right? He goes, he goes, well, I was 12 or 14 or 15, the neighborhood kid, and I was pushing a mower and doing some, like you said, snow blowing and shoveling some driveways. So Aiden, you got to take it all the way back. How did you get started in the industry? I mean, you got to think way back when, because you're 15, but like you said, what were you doing again? You said you were shoveling some snow for your dad, or just cutting grass on the side, or?
No, I was actually, back when I was younger, maybe like 5, 6 years old, I used to always go out and help my dad, just cut the lawn. And he'd let me push mow when I was 5, 6, 7 years old out in the backyard. I just kind of liked that, always liked being out in the yard with him. And then I was around 10 years old. I think I wanted to buy a computer. I don't know if I wanted to use it for school or what I wanted to do with it. So I was like, I saw the big snow was coming. So I bought a snow shovel and went out there and was just, shoveling small walkways and driveways where we had lived at the time. And it was a big snowstorm. I think it snowed 20 or 24 inches, that snowstorm. And think me, it was a little 10-year-old kid out there with a snow shovel. And I was getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning because a couple of the neighbors were nurses and going out and shoveling all day long, coming back in for lunch. And, it was a big storm, but I ended up making, $350. And when you're 10 years old, that's like having $10,000. That was great. I took that money the next week, bought the computer, and I was happy.
Good for you, man. That's all. It is really cool when you get to see people, work for something. And, young kids like you, man, there's a lot of kids that are brats or entitled and they get stuff all day long, right? Let's just call a spade a spade. And then there's other folks like you that get to go out there, they work for it, they learn the value of a dollar bill, which is always exciting. Yeah. And, if, look, I'll be honest, if your parents want to give you a couple bucks to like seed you and help you get started, like I'm not opposed to that. But I also think there's a lot of lessons to be learned by telling your 10, 12, 15, 18-year-old kid, hey, you want to make some money? There's a mower in the garage and there's a weed whip. I don't care if it's like a little old curved shaft, weed eater, from Home Depot for $50. Like if you want it, go hustle. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, people need to realize in life, stuff's not going to just be given to you. If you want something, you got to work for it.
Wow. That's actually a noble concept, man. And you're 15 again?
15 years old. Yep.
Yeah. In today's political climate, you'd imagine that, somebody who's 30 years old can figure that out instead of go loot a store. But anyway, I digress. Maybe we should just have you run for political office. You already have more common sense at 15 than, half this country. But anyway, I digress. Okay, well, let's take it back, man. So you said you do a lot more with landscaping. Why do you do more with landscaping than lawn maintenance? You said you live in a condo with with your mom right now. So I guess you're probably just limited geographically to doing subdivision work. Or
so where I live with my mom, it's a townhome community, so I do all the landscaping up against the houses for most of the people that live in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And it's all, we pay into HOA fees, so it's all cut by one company, as well as a couple of the other single family homes around in my area.
Okay.
I could move up to like 1-acre, 2-acre, 3-acre lots with the Titan up on my dad's house, but I'm only there half the time as well as here. So with the school schedule and everything like that, it would just make it hard for me to do weekly lawns and, figure it out with school and only be at houses 50% of the time.
Ah, gotcha. That makes a lot of sense then. So that's why you focus more on landscaping.
Yeah, I just do landscaping, and I found that, you can be very profitable on landscape jobs when you're there all day, multiple days at one house. just doing that kind of stuff. Installs, we'll do a lot of go in, take, old plants that are dying out, rip out the whole landscaping and start from scratch, re-amend the beds with topsoil, and then replant.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, let me ask you this. You guys, obviously you're in school. What grade is that? 10th grade, 11th grade?
10th grade. I'm going into 10th grade.
Okay. So you were a ninth grader that graduated early. Did you guys get out of school early because of COVID?
Yeah, we were home doing online learning like beginning of March.
Okay. Now I know you're bummed about missing school, right? Because you wanted to learn about the quadratic formula and about biology class, because those are incredibly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Those are incredibly important, right? So
absolutely,
absolutely. And I know you're a good student, so we're laughing. But were you low key like excited to get out there, start hustling, make money, grow your business? Not again. If you're 15, money isn't everything, okay? It's not even, money isn't everything even when you're 30, 40, 50, okay? Don't make it your everything either. But were you still excited? No doubt about it. Were you excited and motivated to get on out there and start making some money and doing some landscaping work?
Yeah, because the way they did the school schedule, it was very like standardized test work type stuff. So most of the stuff was able to be completed by the time like 11 o'clock in the morning rolled around. And so
Sure.
I was done by 11 o'clock, and I was off Thursday, Friday, just because I got all the work done earlier in the week. But I mean, this year with the way they're doing online now, I'm at least home till January 29th with the school schedule. But they said they're going to be more strict about it. And with earlier in the year, they were only doing like practice grades for the end of the year. But this year they said they're going to actually do real letter grades. So it may get a little bit more challenging, but I still think being able to be at home, and they give you like an hour lunch break, which is plenty of time. I can eat lunch in 15 minutes and start doing estimates for the rest of the time,
Dude, that is so awesome. I was talking to Christian CNI services in Illinois. You know Christian, and same exact thing, dude. I'm talking to Christian. He's like, dude, they got out in March, April, and he's like, man, I got 8 guys working with me and for me, and Ross's Lawn Care, and all these different guys, and I forget his whole posse. All of these guys in like the Hinsdale area, they're all great dudes. They all listen to the show. They all swipe up and repost, I should say, on Instagram. But all these kids, man, 16, 17, 18, they're like, man, like if you want to go be an engineer, yeah, you got to learn cosine, tangent, and trigonometry. Okay, I get it.
Right. Yeah.
but if you also want to be an entrepreneur and a businessman and like start hustling and like working and making money, I mean, I'd rather see you guys hustling and making money than being stuck inside playing video games and doing stupid stuff. So
yeah, yep.
That's awesome, man. So landscaping has helped you with being able to make money, and also with your kind of crazy, somewhat hectic schedule. Now a lot of these guys are going to be wondering, what kind of landscaping you're doing. Are you getting like a bag of shredded mulch from the big box store and doing like 1 10 by 10 square feet? You're laughing because I know this is a setup. This is what we call a setup question.
Yeah.
But tell these guys what you're doing for landscaping, and you're not laying one bag of mulch. Okay, you're doing some real good projects.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because I was actually, my next door neighbor's got a really, really small area, and it was mainly a weeding job. And, it was raining, so I was pinched for time. I actually went over to Home Depot and bought like 10 bags of mulch just to get it done. I was like, it's too small to go buy in bulk. But since then, actually my first year in business, I bought all the mulch I needed in bags, and quickly realized after the first year, because, that was the easiest. I had nobody to help me, so my mom would just run me over to the home center. We'd buy the bags, fill up the back of the car, and I'd put them in the garage until I needed them.
Yeah.
And I was doing that once a week to get mulch, and I thought that was the best thing until I, discovered how much more bag mulch is in bulk.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So what kind of landscaping jobs are you doing right now? Are you, you've had some pretty good high price points. You've had some guys that are like double your age come on over and like lend you a hand, and you've subcontracted out work. What kind of landscapings are you doing? Are you doing like designs and rip outs and reinstalls, or what are you guys doing?
So we're doing a lot of rip outs where we'll tear out the entire beds. We'll till in new topsoil, redo the design of all the plants. Had a couple calls to take out all the mulch in beds, do the weed preventer fabric, and do new rock. Just because they're having moisture issues with mulch up against the foundation. Couple backyards with some big sinkholes in them. We filled them in with some 57 stone on the bottom, and then topsoil on the top, reseeding, aeration and overseeding. I just put up a quote today for a very large property cleanup and mulch job, 25 yards. And 25 yards of mulch, a lot of shrub pruning. The lady actually wanted a pretty sloped hill. She wanted to tear out all the bushes and reseed the hill. And any of you guys in the industry who understand tearing out bushes and reseeding hills gets pretty pricey, especially when you got 50 some shrubs to tear out. And I said to her, hey, look, her problem was she wanted to tear the bushes out because the mulching in between was too much weeding. And I was like, look, we can put you on a monthly maintenance to come back every month, get this weeded for you. We'll do a pre-emergent to prevent those weeds, like a preen or something like that. But, let's mulch it and just prune this up. It's going to be your most cost-effective option. Sometimes with a client, who may not be willing to spend that $7,000 to $10,000, but you don't want to lose them for the work. You can still sell them on something that's going to make you good money. And sure enough, right before we hopped on the podcast, I got the text that I sold that property cleanup and 25-yard mulch job.
Dude, that is so awesome, dude. How much is a job like that? Like $3-4 grand or what?
That one, I think with the property cleanup and the shrub trimming was like $3,750.
I get so excited for you young guys, man. You guys there's grown men right now listening to this, shaking their head and smiling and stuff and just laughing. Like we're proud of you. We're excited for you, bro. Like I'm not in competition with anybody, man. I'm just the DJ of the industry, Like I get to,
absolutely.
Paul Jameson and I'm just like, I love doing interviews because I'm like, man, like tell me how good you're doing. That's what I want to hear. Like
exactly.
It encourages me, dude, to go out there and go sell some jobs. Now we gotta kind of slow down because there's a lot of 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that reach out to me all day long, and even 30-year-old, grown men. How did you get started doing jobs of this size? Because how do you get customers to, give you confidence to have them write you a check for, almost $4,000?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, actually, at the beginning of this year, I had sold a very large sod job that I was scared about. It was 4,000 square foot, but we had to rip up the whole lawn to start. And that was a big job for me. And that was, honestly, my first step to a job that was over, just like I had done a couple like $1,000 jobs, but this was like a big step from that. And I was scared to put out the price. And I was like, one of the things I understood with a lady like this, and I think it's good for young people, is you go out there and you dress in a nice attire, you meet with the client for projects like this. You get what they want, you take notes, get your measurements, you offer your suggestions, and then for that, you go back home, work up the quote, and you take a copy of that quote to the client and stand there and present it to them and say, look, my name is this, I represent this company, and here's my price to do your project. Explain it to them, and sure enough, I walked out that day I walked out with a agreement on the estimate, and were already ready for me to send over the contract. And I think that helps, being able to be there and just presenting yourself saying, look, this is how we have to do this. This is how we're going to do it, and just being there and being present really helps. But I think starting on a smaller scale is where you want to find yourself being. If you're on a smaller scale, start small, take pictures, post them on Facebook, let people see you're doing a good job at small scale and build up to bigger stuff. The bigger you get, the bigger the pictures you're posting, and they just see your jobs are progressively getting bigger. They're going to think their job's nothing compared to pictures you have posted online.
Dude, that is solid, bro. That is really, really solid. Let me ask you this. How did you learn how to do a lot of this work? You're only 15. There's only so much time in a day. You're going to school. Have you just been like lurking on YouTube or social media, like learning this kind of stuff? Or did you have people local to you? Like, if you're 10, 12, 15 years old, how do you learn this much at that age? That's what a lot of these younger guys are going to be asking me.
Yeah. So actually, I'll give a quick plug for Nick Carlson with Mulchmate. He's been a big help to me. For those of you guys who don't know, he was in the industry for 20 plus years, ran his own business, very local to me, 20 minutes away. We meet up a lot, chat a lot. I help him. He helps me. So for him, I reached out. He helps me price a lot of things, build contracts. He was actually sending me old contracts of his old company, helping me create contracts for my company. And he's just been a really big help for my company. And then just local guys, other local guys, your training programs, just lurking on YouTube, just finding out how to do stuff.
Dude, that is awesome. Well, let me ask you this, dude. What's the motivation for you at 15? I mean, like you said, when you got started, you made $350 and you bought a computer. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. For me, dude, I want, we all got these benchmarks, these checkpoints. We want cool stuff, right? If who doesn't want the toys? Who doesn't want something new, right? Whether it's clothes, cars, watches, whatever. I'm a big watch guy. Like one day I want to get an AP. That's like 25, 30 grand. It's a nice watch, but we're all dreaming. Okay. I also want a Tesla. It's a Model X. Like I want a nice home for the wife. Okay. Like these are things that you want in your 30s. You know what I'm saying, Aiden? So
Yeah, absolutely.
they're material. They're dumb, but they're fun. You're 15. You have a roof over your head. You've got food. You got clothing. So what's the motivation of a 15-year-old kid to go out there and work this hard when you don't really have to, and all your friends are playing kickball and esports and they're doing dancing on TikTok? What's the motivation for a 15-year-old for you?
Well, this is it's one simple thing: to put yourself ahead and come out stronger than those kids. Those kids are going to be those kids. They're of course a couple of them are going to become doctors and make $350,000 a year or whatever. But a bunch of them, it's going to take them a long time to get off the ground. Before they may be in their mid-20s, before they're moving on from Dunkin' Donuts jobs and working at stores in the mall, before they figure out what their actual passion is going to be. I'm going to already be out the door making money. At that point, hopefully the business will be running itself, and I'll just be sitting at a desk taking care of work, and I'll already be ahead of those guys, and ideally won't have to work as long into my later years as them.
That's awesome, dude. That is really, really good.
Start young young now while I have the energy. Put in the energy now, so I don't have to exert as much when I get older.
Dude, see, that's wisdom right there. And you're only 15. Again, like a lot of people here, I said this once on a podcast. If you're a winner, you like hearing other people win. And if you're a loser, you can't stand listening to a winner. It just repels you. It's like, magnets, right, Aiden? And,
yep,
and dude, you're a winner, you're a butt kicker, and you're 15. You're young, you're a stud. Cocky, maybe. Confident, yes. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I think you're a butt kicker, and we need more young guys out there that are acting how you are versus acting like spoiled, rotten brats at 15. And again, it always comes down to one word. Life comes down to one word: choices. Mm-hmm. And what you're doing at 15 is you're making way better choices than a lot of your peers, which is super exciting. In fact, I had somebody left a comment on my wife's Instagram when we posted a photo of our new custom home build, and we had like her holding the plans, and she was super excited. We're both super excited. We're building our first home on our second channel, Fullerton Party at 2. Little plug there. And this lady like commented like this really mean paragraph, which was just really weird. And she's like, "Well, I can't believe you guys are building your custom home. Must be nice. You guys don't know." This is exactly her comment. She goes, "You guys have no idea what it's like to struggle, what it's like to work 2 jobs, what it's like to work for 10 years and make no progress. And now you're building your dream home when you don't know what it's like to work, and what it's like to suffer, and what it's like to struggle." And literally, Liz and I both look at each other. We were like, "Are you literally kidding me? Like, are you like?"
Yeah, she must have done no research, never heard the backstory.
Yeah,
nothing.
Exactly. So I commented on my wife's post. You guys know how that goes. So I comment, and I was being nice. Liz goes, "Don't do it." And I go, I'm not gonna destroy her. I'm not gonna blast her, because I think the same things you guys thought. Like, are you kidding me? You just want to like throttle that person. So I commented back. I said, "Yeah," I said, "We are building our dream home. We are super blessed, and we are super excited. But I also don't think that you realize that for the last 5 years, I've worked 100 hours a week running 2 companies for 5 years straight. I don't think we went on vacation until one time last year, November." I said, "You weren't there. While all of you and your friends were buying Yeezys, leveraging debt, living on debt, making bad choices, my wife and I lived below our means. We paid off a gob of debt. We got debt free, put cash in the bank. And yeah, we made different choices than you 5 years ago. But don't give me this nonsense of, you had it easier, or I have it worse, or you have it worse and you have it easier. None of that. We all have life, man. We all have choices. And I don't care if you're 34 or 15. If you want your life to start looking better, you got to start making more right choices." And
absolutely, I agree.
It's so refreshing. I've heard that a lot of people say that the next generation, I don't know if you guys are like you're not millennials. What are you guys called? Like Generation Y or Generation
something
Z?
Like, yeah, I'm not sure.
I think you guys are Generation Z or Generation IY or something like that. You guys are supposedly supposed to come out the most conservative, hardest working group based on like all these stats and studies, because you guys saw all the Gen Xers and the boomers, give birth to all the millennial kids. All the millennials are like millennials are even broken down. Half are useless and the other half are productive. And the productive half hate the useless half, and the useless half hate the productive half. And, don't
they say that about every generation? There's always these useless people.
Well, yeah, for sure. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of people right now that are proving themselves to be completely useless to society, but that's a whole nother story. But it's funny because your generation gets it. You guys are the 18 and under crowd. Like, a lot of them are hardworking. A lot of them are pretty conservative. They see the nonsense that's going on, and they're starting to work hard. In fact, they want to take care of their parents. They have more motivation than I've seen in my age group, to be honest, which is just crazy. So, let's do this. We're going to take a quick break, hear a little bit more from our show sponsors. You and I, we talk all the time. You guys can tell we're friends. And Aiden does a lot of work for me on the back end, a lot of work for a lot of people. He's a little hustler. So I want to talk to you more about YouTube, social media, and actually something that's really cool. Just recently, you were exceedingly blessed by Sean and Savannah Spencer, TQ, with a brand new Toro Titan, which is incredibly awesome. They gifted you that mower from their YouTube channel. So I want to break a couple of these topics open, talk to you a little bit more about all of these. Let's do this. Let's kick it back over to Mr. Producer Marty here to give us some of the announcements, talk to you guys about the show sponsors, which brings the podcast to you guys 3 days a week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we'll come on right back.
This industry's largest peer-to-peer led training event is just around the corner. And if you guys are ready to bump it up a notch and lay the foundation for an incredibly successful 2021, then L'Entrepreneur Academy Live 2020 is an absolute must-attend event. L'Entrepreneur Academy Live. The fun takes place November 7th in Novi, Michigan at the Suburban Collection Showplace. This year we have 6 amazing speakers, including Nick Carlson, Caleb and Brittany Allman, Corey Ballard, Jeff Joyner, Keith Kalfa, and Stanley Genetic. This all-day long exclusive conference focuses on safety training, sales training, and features live panels and demos as well. You definitely don't want to miss out. Refocus, regroup, and re-engage with us this fall at L'Entrepreneur Academy Live 2020. We're so excited to host you guys in Novi, Michigan, and help propel your business to the next level. Hotels and event registration information can all be found at l'entrepreneuracademy.com and in today's show notes. And follow along as the excitement builds with the Instagram hashtag LAL2020. See you November 7th.
Are you ready for GIE Plus Expo?
What?
Yes, GIE Plus Expo is coming to you now. It's GIEExpo2go.com, your new online connection to hundreds of new products, industry resources, and solutions to help you grow your business. GIE Expo to Go is packed with your favorite exhibitors' latest innovations, demo videos, event links, and more. Plus, you can set up your own My2Go show planner to gain exclusive access to show specials and discounts. Test Jet is all free. So what are you waiting for? Go to GIEExpo2go.com and start exploring today.
This is the Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast. Now here is your host, Brian Fullerton, the party monster.
Awesome, cool deal. Well, always appreciate Marty chiming in and bringing the heat, making it a little bit more fun, a little bit more light than both Aiden and I just coming at you guys like drinking out of a fire hose, right? So let's do this. I want to know about the Toro Titan, bro. You and I, there's so much stuff that we can talk about, but for a quick second, can you talk a little bit more about the what did they just gift you, a mower? Is that what they did?
Yeah, so basically I'll give you guys a little backstory. So they had announced back in, I guess that was February-ish, that they were going to give away this mower. They got it from Toro. It really wasn't suiting their business needs. They didn't really need it. And they said, all you need to do is consistently watch our videos and comment. And normally I watch, a couple of their videos a week. I try to at least, while I'm just winding down at the end of the night. I like watching their videos as well as Brian's and many other people. So I was just, leaving a comment like I normally do. I'd been doing it for a year before they even announced they were doing that. And you never really thought anything of it. They were like, we're going to pick somebody who consistently watches the videos. Well, later to find out, they just put everyone who was subscribed to the channel in a random comment picker, which was about 54,000 people or so that are subscribed to their channel. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
But I didn't think anything of it until Nick Carlson calls me and says, hey, I need you, whatever you're doing tomorrow, I need you to cancel it. He says, I'm going to come pick you up. I need help shooting a new product that's going to come out with Awesome Manufacturing. I said, okay, I got my cameras. I'll come down.
Oh, and okay. A little sneaky.
Down there,
yeah.
And, him and I, we parked the truck, walk in, and they're behind the counter of their desk. They pop up and said, hey, there's a cool video about it out on YouTube. And, you know, I see them and I look at them and I'm like, well, what are they doing here? I'm like, I came down to shoot with Nick. And then I'm starting to think, I'm like, wait, they were giving away a mower. So we start walking back. I didn't really have any reaction because, you know, my first reaction was I was kind of shocked that they were there. We walk back and I'm talking to Nick. We're looking at something and they go, I turn the corner and the mower's sitting there and he goes, you won. And I'm like, what? I didn't have a reaction. Like people like, all my buddies saw the video and they text me. They're like, that's the quietest I've ever seen you in your entire life. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know what to say. So, you know,
that's awesome,
like,
dude.
okay, well, it's yours, test it out. So, you know, then I tested out. I'm going down the ramp in the back, and then my grandma texted me later in the day. She's like, "Did you see the FedEx truck coming by the back? You almost ran into it." I was like, "Nope, didn't even see it."
That's awesome,
like,
man.
It was driving across. I'm coming down the ramp. I'm just ready to test it out. I was so excited at that point, but didn't have a reaction. And you know, then sure enough, Nick's guys come out and they're hooking up the hitch to the front, getting ready to test it out with a cart mate, riding around with the cart mate.
Nice,
you know,
nice. What
awesome.
what kind of mower is it? Just so these guys know, if they didn't get to check your video or Spencer's video, what was the mower? What did you win?
So it's the exact same mower Brian's got. It's the 60-inch 2020 Toro Titan with a 24.5 Toro engine on it, and it's got with the My Ride suspension. Which, if you have any residential or commercial Toro, the newer sit downs, you don't get it with My Ride. I don't know what's wrong with you because it is a great feature. It's nice. It's like being in your grandma's Lazy Boy.
There you go. In grandma's Lazy Boy. Dude, you're awesome, dude, man. Well, did you see my video? This is early, but did you see my video yesterday with the stripes from the Toro Titan when I mowed?
I did, yeah, that's awesome.
Did you see those? Great. Those stripes are incredible, dude. Like, I literally this evening was shooting a video at Weingart's with Alex, who's the sales manager. And him and I were talking after, just hanging out for a quick minute. And he goes, "Hey, by the way," he goes, "were those really the Toro Titan stripes?" I go, "Yeah, bro." He goes, "Man," he goes, "those were laying them down as good as the Z, or X Mark Laser Z." I go, "I know." So it's a solid little mower, man. Little plug for Toro. And by the way, let's just to recoup really quick. Sean and TQ Spencer, Sean Spencer, great people. They have a YouTube channel, like Aiden said, 50,000 subs plus. Great people. And it's funny, like, sometimes as a YouTuber, whatever, you get products sent to you or sponsored content, which is cool. It's fun. I mean, that's the idea. And if you guys are turned off by that, hey, that's one thing. But for me personally, I like seeing people win. I like seeing people get these sponsorship opportunities, products. Yeah. As long as they're honest with it, dude, I think it's awesome. So, but the other side of it is me being a YouTube personality as well. I think it's funny how they're like, well, you gotta watch for the next 6 months and you can't miss a video. You got to be a very loyal watcher. And I'm like, that's funny. That's called milking it right there, Sean. But that's funny. That's funny. And that's awesome because people are like, I do the same thing. I give away stuff and I'm like, well, you got to do this, this, and this. And then people are like, are you kind of like bribing us to like watch or subscribe or comment? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. They're like, oh, okay. Like at least you're honest with it, like, I don't care. Like, hey, here's what you guys got to realize with YouTube. YouTube, it is a lot to deal with people and engagement and, you guys watching and fun videos and cool clips, but YouTube is a computer system. It's an algorithm. And so if you guys like whatever YouTuber you're watching, even if you're like leaving a comment that says doing it for the algorithm, like, we appreciate that. Even if I'm just giving you some insider secrets. Even if you hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, I don't care, man. Hit thumbs down. We call it engagement. So if you like my channel or Aiden's channel, like leave a comment. Just say nice video or doing it for the algorithm gods. Like leave something funny just to create more engagement because
absolutely, yep.
But yeah, by doing that, you trigger the YouTube algorithm to be like, oh, let's promote this video more. So if you like Sean and TQ, or you like ProCut, or you like Brian's Law Maintenance, like or Aiden's channel, or whatever, engage with the channel. That's Sean's a genius. So God bless him. And again, that's so cool that they were able to give their mower to you. Sorry guys, I'm keeping mine. I like it. I thought about selling mine and maybe putting a deposit or a half down on a Wright Standard ZK72. You know what I'm saying? Because
oh yeah, that's a nice mower.
I was gonna say I can get one of those for like 11, 12, and I'm trying to talk to Ed Wright and see what we can work out. Maybe working a deal out. We'll see. Do some stuff with YouTube. But Ed's a very slow, very methodical. He's a thinker. So he's like, well, let's see what we can do. He goes, right now I can't even keep him in stock because everybody was shut down for 2-3 months with the pandemic. So everybody's still playing catch up, believe it or not, behind the scenes. So.
I've personally been on the Wright ZK61.
Yeah.
And it's a quick machine with that 37 horsepower Vanguard on it.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure that's 72 with those dual wheels. And that would probably be sweet on your property. You could probably mow it. I mean, you said how long did it take you to do it with the Z?
Hour and a half.
So you could probably do it maybe because I think that mows around 10 miles an hour. And I think the ZK's around 13. So you may be able to be down like hour 25 minutes or hour 15 minutes, hour maybe.
Well,
with 72.
That's the idea. If I can get the 72 inch, the wider deck, and then I can also get the dually wheels to kind of help with the bumps. My biggest issue right now with the property, we're going to aerate it. We're going to flatten it out. We're going to do some stuff to it over the next 18 months. I'm going to wait until after it's, done being a construction site next year, obviously.
Yeah. They're going to destroy. Sure.
The whole property is going to get tore up, obviously. But my attitude is that maybe those dual wheels will help with the divots and the bumps. Maybe the larger front caster wheels, I can go 6, 7, 8, 9 miles an hour. Right now, even with the Z or the Titan, whatever, or the Star S, I can only go 4 or 5 miles an hour because it's just too bumpy. And so it's a wide open 3-acre field. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of just undulation and divots to it. But with the dual wheels and the larger casters, and the wider deck, maybe we can get that down, like you said, to half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And so that's, I don't know, that's just something I'm playing with. Stanley Dirt Monkey's got that Bad to the Bone Dirt Monkey, right, ZK?
Someone, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to reach out to Ed and be like, yo, how much to get some red and black, a powder coat? You know what I'm saying? And so
gotta match the Polaris,
Oh yeah, there you go. Got to match all the rest of the toy. Yeah, I love it, man. Well, so you also do some stuff with YouTube and social media. So why don't you talk to these guys a few minutes? You have a YouTube channel. You got an Instagram. I know you're active in the community.
Yes, sir. So I A's Lawn and Landscaping on YouTube. I got about 1,200 subs. I do a lot of my before and after project videos on there, as well as I'll put out some DIY content, how to fertilize your lawn. I used to do a lot of that last year, kind of pushing away from it. Now just to show more of the business, because honestly, lately I've been sending videos to customers. Like I'll send them pictures before and afters of projects, but I'll send them a video to show how it's completed, and then they can really get an understanding for, oh wow, he's going to be at my property all day. He's going to be there for multiple days, and it just puts a good taste in their mouth of them seeing video, hearing us talk, seeing the guys work, seeing myself work. And I think it just puts a good taste in the customer's mouth to see a video.
Nice. So you're using your social media to grow your business too, and to help your customers.
Yep. So I'm on Instagram too, at a.f lawn and landscaping. And on there, I just post pictures of that. Just kind of post pictures, a combination of work and, when I got like 1,600 followers on there, and it kind of becomes, like a fan page. So you kind of have to post stuff to engage with the fans too, versus just doing work, but try to keep it all landscaping related. And then I just jumped on Facebook recently because I was like, oh, I can do more before and afters for clients on Facebook, target the, those Gen Zs and millennials on Facebook for some work that way. So
Absolutely.
That's been going pretty well. And got a couple calls on Facebook. I've only been on there for maybe a month and a half, gotten a call or two, but sure been worth it.
Dude, that's awesome, man. So where do you plan to take things right now? Because if you're 15 and you're already crushing it with your lawn and landscape business, you're doing $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 jobs, some smaller, of course, but you got some great momentum. And you're still doing this without a license, right? Or are you driving yet, or how's that work?
No, I can't even drive until January, and then once I get my license, it'll be the end of fall of next year. So right now, all the work that gets completed in my neighborhood, the next neighborhood over, I can do on my own, no problems, no questions asked. I have a buddy, Derek, who lives just over the Delaware line. He's about hour and 15 minutes, hour and 30 minutes. He'll come down about once a month, and he'll stay the night with me at the house here, and he'll help me out for 2 solid days as well as the rest of my guys. And we'll travel and do all the jobs that are, in my route or in my area around here. I pretty much do like a 25-minute circle around my house, and that's pretty much where I stay for landscape jobs.
That's
and if
awesome.
they pay better, then I'll go out further. But if he comes down, helps me out, he'll stay like Saturday and Sunday, and we'll knock out, 1 job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, however many can get scheduled in that 10-hour days, 20 working hours, whatever.
Dude, that is seriously awesome, man. So where do you want to take things over the next year or two? Are you going to get a truck or a car? You're going to start expanding business a little bit? Are you going to get into mowing? What's the next 18 months look like for you?
So honestly, I want to start with irrigation. So Nick Carlson's going to be helping me this fall. We're going to put an irrigation system at my house with all my guys for practice, so they all can learn how to do it as well as myself.
Nice.
So we're going to expand into irrigation. And actually, for those of you guys who ask, do you need a license for irrigation? You do not need a license for irrigation unless you're tying into the house. And for that, to simplify not having to get an irrigation license, you just hire a plumber to tie it into the house.
There you go. There you go. Check,
then,
by the way, check with your local state and laws.
Yeah, that's Maryland.
That's I said that's not the blanket 49 other states. So, but anyway, keep going. That's awesome.
And then I want to hop into hardscaping. Got a couple buddies. He's not very active in the community, but I'll give him a quick plug. Alex Mushaw with Oasis Landscape Group. He's on Instagram. He does some amazing work local in the area. Said he would take me on, shadow me for a couple days. Just teach me how to learn some hardscaping. Got a couple other local contractors that are going to help me do a patio here at my own house, just learning how to do that. That's what my mom said. She's like, well, I'll get a patio. I'll get irrigation. I'll do this, and this. I'm like, oh, your house is going to be decked out just learning how to do everything. But
that's awesome.
Definitely expanded the irrigation and hardscaping, drainage. So when I get, when I'm able to drive, I got enough money saved up now that I'll be buying my first trailer as a dump trailer in cash, hopefully. And then financing a 2,500 truck to pull that dump trailer. And then from there, I'm not just keep up on, the payments on that and insurance and stuff like that. And the plan from there is I got everything else I need, so I won't need to buy anything else. And just keep with the landscaping jobs. Maybe I should be able to extend the mowing at that point now that I'll be able to drive and have a little bit more of a flexible schedule. We'll see how that plays out. May not work out the greatest with a dump trailer. May end up having to get a utility trailer, but pretty firm on getting a dump trailer for all these landscape jobs. I think it would pay for itself after I spent the middle of July unloading 2 tons of riverjack into a field that we were getting rid of off of a project and it was 100 degrees out.
That's awesome, dude. That's so cool. Well, let's do this. We're gonna button it up right here, man. We're definitely gonna get you on the show again in the future because you and I, we talk all the time. You help me with my YouTube channel, my second channel behind the scenes, and I told Aiden, get ready because going into next year when we start building the home, there's gonna be a new video literally every day because it's gonna be a lot of stuff. And but behind the scenes, guys, just so you know, Aiden's done a lot for a lot of people. His fingerprints are on a lot of YouTubers, a lot of Instagram, a lot of stuff that you see in the community. He's great friends with a lot of great dudes. By the way, shout out to Nick Carlson and Mulchmate. Those guys are just incredible. Nick is a solid, good dude. Like I'm pounding my fist on the table. Like he is a good stock. And so to have somebody like Nick in your life at such a young age is just such a tremendous asset and such a great value. And I know you know that, but I just want to continue to encourage you to pick Nick's brain as much as you can. Like you said, do your landscape work, do this, do that. But if you can, go volunteer, go work with Nick, go hang out with Nick. Like keep picking his brains. Keep in his back pocket, if you will, because man, I wish I had a Nick Carlson in my corner back when I was at your age. Man, like
yeah, absolutely.
What a tremendous asset that is. So of course, shout out to those guys. Him and his whole family there.
Down there.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, guys. I was down there. I guess a couple weeks back. We were assembling the next round of cartmates, but I'll go down there for the day, help him out when he's needing some help, and just learn from him. And we talk daily, just getting information from him on different projects. How would you do this? Does this look right if the customer saw this? I'll send him my estimate. He'll look them over before I send them off, and just works really well. I'll help him. He helps me. I shoot videos for him, post them on my channel, get some views for the Mulchmate, Cartmate, and Truckmate. It works really well for us.
That's awesome, dude. For real. That is so cool that he's like that close to you. And again, Mulchmate, if you guys want to follow them on Instagram, Dawson Manufacturing, if you want to follow like the shop. Great guys, great buddies. He used to run a multi-million-dollar lawn and landscape company called Laser Cuts Landscaping, and just a great dude overall, man. So, Aiden, let's do this. Normally, you've listened to the show. You know, I always wrap up with like final thoughts or open mic. Anything that you want to maybe try to communicate and help out these younger guys, like whether they're 13 to 18 years old, that's kind of like your age group. Again, I don't care if you're 30, man. Hopefully you took something away from this podcast. I know I did. It's just to be confident, to be bold, to make good choices. Look, if you're 34, like I am, look, I can't go backwards, but I can make good choices today to set myself up with my 40s and 50s, right? Yep. But if you're 15, 17, 18, 20 years old, make good choices, make good decisions. Ask good people in life that have what you want. What should I be doing at this age? And learn and make good decisions and make good choices. And Aiden, you're kicking butt. You're setting yourself up for a tremendous future, which is going to be super fruitful. Any tips that you want to leave some of these younger guys that you're talking to?
Yeah, for sure. One more thing I'd like to close out with is, when times get hard in business, remember why you started. Stay humble and, remember why you're in business, what you're in it for. Remember where you came from, and just keep hustling.
Dude, I love it, man. That's great. I mean, again, you're 15 going on 35, which is exciting. So, and you don't even drive yet, but seriously, you have a very mature mindset, and I'm really excited for you, man. So keep it going. Well, let's do this. We're going to button it up right here. We're going to definitely invite you back on the show. We'll go into fall, winter, maybe get another 4 or 5 month update from Aiden's A's and see what he's got going on. If these guys do want to follow you, go slow when you read this part, but Instagram or Facebook and YouTube, where can they find you if they want to keep up with you?
Sure, absolutely. So it's A's Lawn and Landscaping on YouTube, A's Lawn and Landscaping on Facebook, and A.S Lawn and Landscaping on Instagram.
All right, man. Well, cool deal. All right, guys. Well, if you guys haven't followed Aiden yet, make sure you do. Definitely go support him, and definitely hit thumbs up on past videos, current videos, and future videos. Engage with all these channels if you guys can. We really appreciate the support. And by the way, leave us some of those 5-star ratings and reviews. I know we've been reading these off on the show over the last couple of weeks, and you guys really love hearing your guys' comment get read out loud. So if you guys haven't left us a well-worded 5-star rating and review, we definitely appreciate that. And if you guys enjoyed this podcast, share it with a lawn care bro. Everything we do is organic. We don't pay for ads. We don't pay for anything else like none of that nonsense. We have a really tight core group of you guys. And just so you guys know, if you're listening in, be proud. Be proud of the fact that you're listening to this podcast and supporting it. We're a top 50 all the time podcast. Lately, top 30, 40s, which is insane. And guys, it's like the lawn care community versus everybody. Okay. It's insane. Like we're stomping on the charts. Paul Jameson's in the top 50, 75 all the time. We're in the top like 40, 50, 60 all the time. Lawn care is taking over the world, which is exciting. And Aiden A's, he's the future, man. He's got the future face of this industry, and it's looking really bright. So Aiden, long story short, thanks so much for taking time out of your evening, man, for being on the show. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Brian.
All right, guys. Well, that's it from us today. We're going to kick it back over to Mr. Producer to wrap up with some of the show announcements, listen to what he's got to say. And guys, we'll catch you on the next one.
As Brian alluded to, like him, I'm not only encouraged about the future of the industry, but the future of the country. I just hope there's a lot more guys like Aiden out there. Somebody's got to be productive to pay for my Social Security. Hey, it's Marty, and looking ahead, we have scheduled several more shows that'll be coming your way real soon with young entrepreneurs. If this happens to be the first episode of Fullerton Unfiltered you've ever listened to, in the show description, you're going to find the link for the L'Entrepreneur Academy. That is your destination for gobs upon gobs of training courses designed for both newbies and pros alike. Check it out. Don't forget to use that promo code podcast when you check out to save 10%.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.